Here's the Dark Souls video y'all have been waiting for. It's been a lot longer since, it's been a long time since I actually said this video was coming. That's because I had a problem with the fucking footage. I got that green screen shit again. I got pissed off for quite a long time. But then, being amazing, I figured out a way around it. So, I can bring you the video now. Good. So, as you read in the beginning, this is spoilers for Dark Souls 3 and Dark Souls 1. Spoilers being Dark Souls 3 final boss, and then I'll come to the Dark Souls 1 thing a little bit later on. But yeah, in my opinion, Dark Souls 3 is just slightly worse than Dark Souls 1. I shouldn't say worse, just like Dark Souls 1 is better in my opinion. Like I think because Dark Souls 1 was the first Souls game I played, so you know that game has all my initial deaths, my initial rage, my initial hitting my head against a brick wall until I fucking finally killed the boss. Fuck you, Ornstein and Smough. Fuck, I hate those guys, they're awesome. But yeah, so other than that, like they're really close together. So it's really what your preference is and how you go about these games. But I still personally like Bloodborne the best, but you know that's just me. And Demon Souls is not in this debate for me because I've never played Demon Souls. I do not own a PS3, so I cannot play it, and no one I know who has a PS3 owns Demon Souls, so I can't play it. Hopefully it ports over to PS4 one day, hopefully. But yeah, as for the character I'm using, this guy is Sir Colbert, because I like the Colbert Report, or now it's the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But yeah, he's one of my favorite comedians, so you know, named the dude after him. The armor I'm wearing, the hat, is a reference to Bloodborne. You know, I forget what that style hat's called, but you know, you play Bloodborne, you see that the resemblance instantly. I should probably not snap. Does not go well on mics or whatever. The armor is Knight Artorias' armor from Dark Souls 1 DLC. It's my favorite armor in the game. In both games, because Artorias is an amazing character, and he's amazing because he's pretty much a fucking reference to Guts from Berserk. So, you know, loving Berserk, I love Artorias. Even though his armor doesn't fully match Guts' armor from the manga, but you know, whatever, it looks fucking badass. I like it, so I'm using it. It's not called Fashion Souls for a reason. And the weapon, the Zweihände, two-handed sword in German. Zwei means two, Hander most likely means hand. So yeah, that's what I'm using. The shield, it's just regular shield, who cares. But yeah, this, the final boss for Dark Souls 3. In my perspective, my lore for the game, I believe he is the embodiment of every player character that's ever linked the fire in any of the Dark Souls games. So 1, 2, and well, not 3 since we're fighting him right here, and everything in between those, since there are huge time gaps between those games and this one. So I say that because he uses like pretty much every style of weapon and has the movesets for when the player character holds those weapons. He has those movesets and the spells. And he does what a player character would do that, you know, albeit, you know, he has hyper armor and stuff that player characters don't. Well, other than that, yeah. So we're about to get him into his second form, and you will see me pop, in this game it's called an Ember, but would in Dark Souls 1 be called a Humanity. And in this one, it doesn't only turn me human again, but also increases my health. Now you'd wonder why wouldn't I do that in the beginning of the match? You know, having a lot more health means I won't waste as much Estus. But you know, I knew he had a second transformation since this wasn't the first time I got into this part, do this much health thing. So I'm like, you know, let's make this cool. As soon as you transform, I too shall transform and engage you in full combat at full power. So that was my mindset for this little battle. Little funny shit. But as you can hear, the song, the music has changed. It has changed to the final boss theme of Gwyn from Dark Souls 1. And his moveset has also switched to that of Gwyn from Dark Souls 1. When I first was playing this, I did not realize that at all because I was just in the mindset of learn the moveset, kill motherfucker. You know, I wasn't thinking of like, this shit is Gwyn from Dark Souls 1. I was not thinking that. But from reviewing it again and seeing other stuff, like, yes, this is the exact same thing as Gwyn, the Dark Souls 1 final boss. So that's where Dark Souls 1 spoilers comes from. But they changed him up that you can't parry him unlike you can Gwyn, because parrying made Gwyn a trivial fight. As soon as you figure out how to parry him, it's over. So they took that away from this version. That's not to say other bosses in Dark Souls 3 can't be parried. So, you know, if you're going through Dark Souls 3 and you don't having trouble, try and parry a few bosses, see if it works. You might die. You probably will die figuring it out. But going back to it, the switch in this shit into Gwyn's theme, it's amazing. It makes perfect sense, lore-wise. And yeah, that's the final boss of Dark Souls 3, and my opinions on the whole Soul series. Well, not really. Well, I didn't talk much about it because I don't have that much long a video, but you know, just my few thoughts there. And yeah. So there's my character, Circle Bear, beating the game. Yeah. And instead of praising the sun, we praise the Dark Lord. For spoilers, there's multiple endings in this game.